Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Ray Hasset, the CEO of O Entertainment, a one-horse small company in Long Beach, California.
And your big event here in Long Beach is...
We have several.
Oh, okay.
We have the Long Beach Crawfish Festival, which happens in August. And we have the Long Beach Lobster Festival, which happens in September. And we're introducing this year the Long Beach Oktober Fest.
Oh.
It'll be 2 weekends in El Dorado Park, and it will be done Munich style.
Very nice. So, when did you get started doing these kinds of events?
1980.
And what was your impetus, your inspiration?
Well, actually, it wasn't any inspiration. It was just, you know, just looking to make some money. And I ran across an old fraternity brother, a real icon here in Long Beach, Jim Gray.
Oh, yeah.
And Jim Gray I met, I was working at a swap meet, the Orange County swap meet. He came by and said, "Hi, Roy, I haven't seen you since we were in fraternities at Long Beach State College." And so he said, "Give me a call, we'll have lunch." So I went down to see him, and that's when he owned Harbor Bank, which now became City National Bank. And he basically said, "Hey, I can tell you something that the public doesn't generally know at this point. The Harbor Department is taking over the Queen Mary." And I inquired some of my fellow, he was a harbor commissioner at the time, if it would be all right if we brought kind of a swap meet to Long Beach at the Queen Mary. He said, "You can have a swap meet, but you can't call it a swap meet." And so, with Jim's help and introductions to the people at the Queen, that was when, God, what's his name? He was deposed in such an unbad, Privatol, Joseph Privatol was there. And Joe was an entrepreneur of the first sort. So we got along and we started the International Fair at the Queen Mary and subsequently some other fairs. That's how I got into the fair business. And then I just branched out. Other people called me and said, "Could you do this festival for us? And can you do this kind of festival?" And we just kept adding to our repertoire. I think what makes us distinguish us as from other special event companies is we own all of our own equipment. We own our own trucks. We own the entire electrical, staging, and we have all the specialty equipment, what we call the secondary and tertiary equipment, that it takes to really put on a really good festival. Then we market our own stuff. We're completely computer literate in here. We run our own websites. We do e-commerce on them. We just keep adding something new each year. But it's been a good run.
That's great. Now the next one, the one that's coming up in almost a week, is the Crawfish Festival. I was wondering, has that been impacted at all by the Gulf crisis?
No. First of all, crawfish is a freshwater thing. Saltwater doesn't dwell, can't grow in saltwater.
Right.
And we buy our crawfish for this particular festival because of the growing season. There's all sorts of craziness. I possess information that a normal person does not need to own. We buy them from the Delta in Sacramento. They're bigger, and really the taste of crawfish to the palate of somebody from New Orleans or Louisiana is the seasoning.
Right.
And so we do that. Bristol Farms does it.
Thank you, dear.
We actually built the cooker. We have the world's largest crawfish cooker.
Wow. That's great. And so, how many people do you have every year that come to the event?
About 4,000 to 5,000.
And you have multiple bands throughout the day. You have lots and lots of live entertainment.
Our philosophy has evolved in how we operate. We get on top of the customer and we stay on top of them. What I mean by then, it's non-stop. We have it's kind of like a party in New Orleans. We have I don't know if you're familiar with it. There's lots of parades in New Orleans. And they usually have a marching band or a funeral played by a marching band. We bring in the New Orleans High Steppers, which is a band. Then we bring Lala to Lala, that's Los Angeles to Louisiana to Los Angeles group. And they're the second line dancers. The second line dancers are people that follow the bands. And they carry the parasols and they step.
Right.
And so between acts, they come out and people get into Congo lines. And then I'm always looking for ways to make the festival more Fellini-esque. So last year I brought in girls from a stilt circus, walking around. They're 9'6" tall with those stilts, and they're dressed elegantly. And then I hire a fellow called A.J. Gibbs, and he gets on the dance floor, and he gets people doing things like the electric slide and stuff. In fact, we get a lot of feedback from our customers because we do e-commerce on the website. I got an email from a woman that said, I want to thank you because I got blisters on my feet. I dance all day and all night. I am so tired I can't even hardly get out of bed. I have no idea why I'm coming back there today.
Well, that's fantastic. That's quite a testament.
In addition to alcohol and crawfish, we're selling a good time.
Right.
And the times, especially, we actually built our business on a quote from Thoreau. And Walden Pond said, most men live lives of quiet desperation, and we do. So if you can have 2 to 3 hours of really a good time, meet somebody, have a human experience, then you attended one of my festivals.
Excellent. Fantastic. I wanted to ask you just briefly, if you don't mind, about the artwork that fills your office. I understand you are the creator of this work.
It's living proof that I have a man with too much time on my hands. I just painted it because I wanted to remember where I've been and what I've done. Like over there, I've been knocked out since I was a kid about the Watts Towers. I have maybe 20 different paintings of the Watts Towers. You know anything about the Watts Towers?
I know a bit.
Have you been there?
Yeah, yes.
Well, that is basically a man's sculpture about Odessa's trip. All those buildings and stuff were done to portray boats and ships. And then one day he just got old, he walked across the street, gave the keys to the neighbor, and left. He went to San Pablo, California. In fact, it's noted that it's the largest single one-man-made sculpture in the world.
Yeah, it really is a truly amazing thing. It really is.
I would advise anybody, any listener, any viewer, to say, you have an extraordinary piece of work right here in your backyard. Go see it.
Yeah. I also wanted to just make sure that we have all the details. Can you give me the details about the show? When, where, and how much?
When? Saturday, August the 7th. Sunday, August the 8th. And it's at the Rainbow Lagoon Park, which is on Shoreline Drive, right across from Shoreline Village, right next to the Hyatt, in the back of the convention center. A beautiful site, and it's perfect for the scale of our festival. You know, 2,000 people snuggle in there really nicely. And it's kind of good to kind of rub shoulders. Dance floor is always full. And we have the best Zydeco and Cajun bands in the world coming in. And because as the festival has grown, so has it been the ability to attract the better bands. And because they're getting good, you know, so it just gets better and better and better.
And how much are tickets?
Costs you $15 to get in.
And where do people get them?
You can buy them online at the Long Beach Crawfish Festival.com. And for $25 you can get a dinner, crawfish dinner, served by Bristol Farms, and admission.
Great.
Just go online, whip out your credit card if there's anything left on it, and we'll have your tickets at the gate.
Great.